Well, you could tell nobody in charge cared about this show. I'm John Renton with the Retro Review of WCW Thunder from February 14, 2001. And besides one particular debut of somebody that went on to have a bit of success, this was just a lazy go-home show for Super Brawl Revenge. And you could definitely tell that nobody really cared about this, even though the talents were trying, because it was like they just said, okay, we got one more show until a pay-per-view that probably nobody's going to buy, and we're going to have to comp a whole bunch of tickets to, and we aren't even going to fill up the arena. So let's just throw some matches out there. Announcers, plug the goddamn pay-per-view. Guys, just go out there and have some matches for the sake of having matches, and let's just get to this pay-per-view that, again, nobody's really going to buy because WCW is just fucking scorched earth by this point. The company would be done in 6.5 weeks. Now, maybe they did know that at the time, maybe they didn't. And I wonder what a reboot would have done for WCW. I don't think it would have lasted very long, but it would have been interesting. But it's just kind of sad. You could see the effort there with some of the talent, and some of them would go on to WWE, some of them would go back to the independents, and then go to what would be NWA TNA at the time. But yeah, it's just a weird time in wrestling. But anyway, Shivani and Tanay on commentary, we get Noble and Courageous in a qualifying match for Super Brawl Revenge for the Four Corners 6-way Cruiserweight contenders match. Just call it a 6-way elimination match, I say. And they took on Air Paris and a little-known guy named AJ Styles, who he's been around for a while. He was in NWA TNA and then TNA Impact Wrestling for a while. Did a few things. He went to New Japan and had a little bit of success. Did something, with the Too Sweet symbol. Did a Too Sweet deal there. And then got to WWE and has done a few things. He had an okay debut at the Rumble and did all... has done some decent stuff, has wrestled a couple times at WrestleMania matches that were whatever. I kid, of course, AJ Styles being one of the best wrestlers in the world for a number of goddamn years. You could see the talent here, and he really goddamn shined. Air Paris, I don't know what else he really did outside of WCW. I know he wrestled a little bit, but I don't know how much success he had after that because his name, he kind of fell off the map. If you know what happened to Air Paris, please let me know in the comments. But it was cool to see AJ Styles here. And they did a lot of dives. Courageous apparently thought the winner of the fall would get into the 6-way Cruiserweight contenders match. Him and Noble kept having disagreements. Like, no, the winning team gets in there. Courageous didn't understand how things worked. You can kind of tell that by just looking at the guy. But anyway, we get a shooting Styles press, the shooting star press outside. Again, you can see the talent with Styles there. And then a drop kick bomb, 1, 2, 3, and Noble and Courageous advance, which is smart because Styles and Air Paris, of course, Styles will go on to have pretty damn good success. And Air Paris, you could see the talent, but there was no reason to put them in that 6-way Cruiserweight contenders match because, oh boy, that was a goddamn mess. I'm not looking forward to reviewing that, but I will review it because you know what? There's been some good stuff in WCW in the last year. Been a lot of bad, been a lot of madness. Thanks, Russo, but there's been some pretty good stuff. Let's pick things up with Jindrak and O'Hare, former tag partners, explode. It's like when Palumbo and Stasiak took on each other. And the match was fine for what it was, and this is about what this was. Though, I would say the pace was a little bit better here. Shanton off the steps. It got sloppy later, though. It went on a bit too long. Like, this one could have been cut by a couple minutes. Stasiak was on the stage, trying to help out his tag partner, perhaps encourage him. Nope. Shanton bombed to Jindrak, 1, 2, 3. O'Hare says, Stasiak, get in the ring. Stasiak, no. And then we end that. There was also some stuff cut out from this episode because you could hear announcers referencing stuff that was not actually included in the episode. Maybe that's just what the master tape had left. Sanders versus Queenie, because fuck it, we just don't care about these guys anymore. A cameraman got sandwiched at one point. Post spot, dreaded roll-up, most devastating maneuver in all professional wrestling. Surprise roll-up, 1, 2, 3, and Sanders wins. There's Queenie's winning streak. Queenie streak, if you will. So, Austin versus Ernest Miller. It's because Storm wanted to soften up Ernest Miller before putting the commissionership on the line at Super Brawl Revenge. And, yeah, Lance Storm was commissioner for all of the rest of Nitro and then this show. And then that was it. And then we'd be commissioner until Ernest Miller beat him at Super Brawl Revenge. And then they got rid of the commissionership. Because, fuck it, the company was basically dead by that point. So, anyway, Austin kept showboating. Miller tried to come back but hurt his leg. And, oh no, what's that going to mean for the master of the Canadian Maple Leaf at Super Brawl Revenge? Splash, 1, 2, 3. Austin beats him up afterwards. And that's basically it. Will Miller be able to beat Lance Storm? Yeah, he does. He fucking does. Sorry, spoiler. Pay-per-view's almost 20 years old. Chavo in the Wall versus Ray and Hugh Morris. Chavo in the Wall. this fall on Fox News. So, Super Brawl hype and decent enough. It went quite a while. Hugh Morris at one point was supposed to miss a moonsault, and he did, but it's like he took forever to do the moonsault, and it just looked like Tom Zenk's crossbody onto nobody at that one Clash of Champions. And then Chokeslam pins Ray, and then Chavo celebrates like he beat Ray to hype up both those matches that are going to be happening at Super Brawl. Buff versus Conan. Don't care. Luger comes out and tries to distract Conan. Adams comes out and attacks him, but we get a blockbuster pinning Conan 1, 2, 3. Shows what Conan meant to the card at this point. And then Jarrett and Rick Steiner versus DDP and Dustin Rhodes. It was just a hype of Jarrett versus DDP and Dustin versus Rick Steiner for the U.S. Championship, because those are the kind of guys you want to have competing for the U.S. Championship. Dustin Rhodes, who at this point he was at a dark place in his life, and thankfully he's a lot better. But also his run in WCW is just very odd. I mean, they wanted to make him 7, and that didn't work out all that well. So anyway, it was what one would expect. We get a melee at the end, sort of, and a stroke, 1, 2, 3, and then more melee. Scott Steiner's here with a pipe. He hits DDP with it, and then Morris, Adams, more people, and everybody come down, and that's basically the end of that. That's pretty much it. It's just madness at the end, the hype of Super Brawl revenge. Everybody getting revenge. Anyway, agree, disagree, what I said. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.